I have been sitting here thinking about this team, and honestly, the uncertainty surrounding our offensive line is starting to keep me up at night. Something just developed regarding the center position that could shake up everything we thought we knew about our depth chart this season. It is wild to see how quickly a veteran acquisition can be overshadowed by a rookie arrival, and the stakes for our cap space and roster construction are suddenly much higher than anyone anticipated. The more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is happening. Like, subscribe, and drop your name and city below. Let's get into it. The Carolina Panthers have a major center situation developing as veteran Luke Fortner is already facing a massive threat to his starting job. After losing Cade Mays to the Detroit Lions during free agency, our front office brought in Fortner, who previously played for the New Orleans Saints. His background includes 10 starts last season and 2 full years as a reliable starter for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which made him appear like a safe veteran stopgap for us. The signing initially seemed like a logical move to stabilize our interior offensive line, but the reality is looking much different now. After selecting Sam Hecht in the 5th round of the 2026 NFL Draft, a move considered a massive steal, our coaching staff is already singing his praises. Dave Canales recently hinted that Hecht has a legitimate chance to start, and reports from OTAs suggest the rookie looks significantly more comfortable under center than the veteran. As Carolina Panthers fans, this news hits us in a complicated way because we are excited about Hecht's potential but frustrated by our financial mismanagement. If Hecht takes the lead, we will have wasted millions on Fortner when that cash could have been used to retain Austin Corbett instead. This team currently sits with only $8.5 million in cap space, so every penny counts for our roster depth. The truth is that we could have burned those resources elsewhere, and seeing a 5th-round rookie immediately outplaying a veteran free agent signing is a stinging reminder of how quickly plans change in this league. With training camp set to open on July 22nd, the battle between the experienced Fortner and the hungry rookie Hecht is going to define the early stages of our season. We need to stay focused, keep pounding, and hope this transition works out for the best. The backstory here began when we lost Cade Mays to the Detroit Lions, forcing our front office to scramble for a stopgap solution. They pivoted to Luke Fortner, who previously started 10 games for Kellen Moore and the New Orleans Saints. While he was a full-time starter in Jacksonville for 2 years, the Panthers signed him to a deal that currently eats into our limited $8.5 million of cap space, a luxury we simply cannot afford given our tight financial constraints. This feels like a classic case of overinvesting in a veteran who might not even survive the summer. What makes this even bigger is the draft selection of Sam Hecht in the 5th round. Hecht was widely considered a steal, and his rapid acclimation at OTAs has head coach Dave Canales already buzzing about his potential to start immediately. Historically, we have seen this script play out before with veteran free agents brought in to anchor lines only to be supplanted by hungry rookies who prove their worth during high-intensity drills. Behind closed doors, our front office is likely sweating this outcome. They probably viewed Fortner as a safe, low-risk floor for the offense, but the coaching staff is clearly prioritizing raw talent and long-term development. If Hecht secures the job, we are effectively paying millions for a backup who provides zero value on the field, which is a massive mismanagement of funds that could have easily been redirected toward retaining players like Austin Corbett. The bottom line here is that the organization took a calculated gamble by signing a stopgap, but the early emergence of a rookie 5th-rounder has turned that supposed insurance policy into a sunk cost. We need efficiency to compete this year, and paying a backup center starter money while the cap remains tight is a mistake we must avoid moving forward. Keep pounding. This is where it gets real for our offensive line because the unexpected rise of rookie Sam Hecht has turned what looked like a solid veteran insurance policy into a potential waste of resources. With Dave Canales openly discussing Hecht as a starter, the stakes for this season revolve around maximizing every dollar, especially since we are operating on a razor-thin cap budget of just $8.5 million. If Luke Fortner ends up being a high-priced bench warmer, that wasted capital could have been used to retain veterans like Austin Corbett, who would provide actual value on the field. The immediate impact on our depth chart is clear because the 5th-round steal is pushing out the veteran, essentially rendering the signing of Fortner a redundant move that hurts our flexibility elsewhere. Looking at our upcoming schedule, this transition period creates a massive level of uncertainty for our interior protection as we prepare to face aggressive defensive fronts within our division. We need stability up the middle to handle the pressure packages that Atlanta and New Orleans are going to throw at us, and relying on a rookie to anchor that line changes the entire complexion of our playoff aspirations. If the communication breaks down early, our season could spiral before we even find our footing. And I will be straight with you. If Hecht makes the leap and wins the job, our margin for error against top-tier defensive lines disappears, forcing the coaching staff to scramble for solutions that we should have already had locked down. We need the best 5 guys on the field immediately to compete for the division title, and if the organization miscalculated this specific roster spot, it might cost us the precious wins needed to stay in the hunt. Keep pounding. The upside of signing Luke Fortner after losing Cade Mays is simple, as it provides a seasoned veteran to anchor the interior of our offensive line while offering insurance if the draft does not yield an immediate starter. By securing a player who has started dozens of games for the Jacksonville Jaguars and New Orleans Saints, the front office clearly aimed to stabilize a volatile unit under head coach Dave Canales. However, the downside is staring us right in the face because the team spent valuable, limited cap space on a player who might be riding the bench all year. If 5th-round draft pick Sam Hecht performs as expected, that money essentially becomes dead weight that could have been used to bolster other positions or retain key veterans like Austin Corbett. Across the league, scouts are already buzzing about the Panthers finding a potential gem in the late rounds, with many analysts noting that Hecht possesses the high-level awareness and physical nastiness that Fortner lacks. While the coaching staff praises the healthy competition, the reality is that the front office may have miscalculated the timeline for their rookie center. Here is where I land on this. I appreciate the commitment to depth, but this signing looks increasingly like a lapse in judgment that cost us flexibility we desperately needed elsewhere on the roster. It is frustrating to see limited funds tied up in a backup role when our primary goal should be maximizing every single dollar under the current cap constraints. We need the best 5 guys on the field from week 1, and if that means burning cash to put a veteran on the sideline, then this front office needs to own that mistake. Regardless of who starts, we continue to keep pounding through the heat of summer. The bottom line here is that this center competition signals a massive shift in how the front office is approaching our roster construction as we look toward the next few seasons. By prioritizing high-upside rookies like Sam Hecht over veteran stopgaps like Luke Fortner, the franchise is finally committing to a youth movement that focuses on long-term development rather than short-term cap inefficiencies. As Carolina Panthers fans, we should feel genuinely optimistic about this direction, because it proves our leadership is willing to pivot when a superior talent emerges, even if it means admitting a recent free agency signing was a miscalculation. This move highlights a clear desire to secure the offensive line for years to come, which is the exact stability we have been craving under Dave Canales. While it is frustrating that we potentially wasted limited cap space on a backup, the reward of finding a cornerstone center in the 5th round is worth every penny of that sunken cost. We are moving away from the era of mediocrity and toward a future where our draft picks actually dictate our starting lineup, which is exactly how championship-caliber teams are built in this league. With training camp kicking off on July 22nd, the intensity in Spartanburg is going to be higher than ever as the competition for the middle of our line heats up. Now, I want to hear from you directly in the comments section below. Do you think the Panthers should cut their losses early and move on from Fortner before the regular season begins, or is his veteran experience too valuable to lose for the sake of depth? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Keep pounding. I'll see you in the next one.